I've never been this irritable at work before. I literally had to hide for like 45 minutes because I was FRR. I'm going to Google that. About to throw this baby like a D football. If the wall was the goalpost, on God, I was a danger to society, and now I'm ready to start a fire, bro. These babies will not shut the F up, and I've given them so much sugar water, basically baby crack, that they could be type 2 diabetics by now, and they still acting like they want to meet Jesus. I need to go home and take lots of birth control. Those are words that were being projected by what is known as a hospital corpsman, also known as a medic in the commonality of the general world out there, that is serving inside of the United States Navy over at U.S. Naval Hospital over in Okinawa, Japan, which, by the way, there is history behind a topic like this that we will discuss. She's talked more about this. And on top of that, she's been removed from patient care. That is what is being said, but we'll get into all that. But I'm, first of all, very upset that this is what is being posted online and is only going to ripple its effect across everybody else. But let's jump into what her reasoning was, or what she thought was a logical response to all of this work she was having to do to take care of babies that are in neonatal intensive care units, which means that they are on life support, essentially. Like, they're trying to get out to thrive in order to be able to actually be a human being, which is what makes this even worse. But let's see what she says. I'm the Nikki person that everyone is raving about on Facebook right now. I'd like the chance to set things straight and ask you to kindly remove the posts about me. First of all, I deeply acknowledge everyone's concern, and I'm not a parent, but I can't imagine the thoughts of those who are when reading what I said. I read it to myself now, and I'm very ashamed that I had thoughts like that and decided to share them. I can't even express how sorry I am to have scared families with relation to the NICU. Here's where I'd like to say my piece, though. The post was taken out of context. I've worked in the NICU for months now, and I would never, ever do something to hurt any of my patients. Anyone who works with me or knows me well outside of work can attest that. I made this post at the end of my third 12-hour shift last weekend. Those 3 days alone were long and stressful for all the staff working for many reasons, and the unit as a whole has had many hard situations occur recently. Some of us are reaching a breaking point, obviously myself included. That day specifically, I had also been going through some severe personal issues inside and outside of work. I post this to my private story where I only keep friends and family who can understand the difference between a threat and coping with dark humor. On a story where I frequently talk about how much I love working in the NICU, and where I had posted my admiration for my patients many times and literally minutes before this. I misjudged who would see the rant, and when the person who originally exposed my post commented on it, I acknowledged what she said and took it down right away. It was not up longer than 5 minutes, and I posted an apology shortly after it was. It's a common theme for medical workers to cope with dark humor when days are hard, but I realized I took it way too far, and I wish I hadn't let my emotions take over my common sense in that moment. Everybody has said something they wish they could take back, and this is just that. Only it was taken from me and posted everywhere before I had a chance to explain. I messaged the person. I messaged the person multiple times throughout the day, but she has not even acknowledged them, but is continuing to escalate the situation. I think I at least deserve to be heard. I messaged my supervisor and asked for something to be done before this girl had even reached out to my chain of command. I just want it to be known that I am remorseful, I have integrity, and I'm trying to make things right. Actions have already been taken and are planned, so I don't see the need for posts about me to linger any longer. For my 5 minutes of wrongdoing, my career is already at stake, and I accept, but I think that ruining my entire reputation on this small island is not a reasonable solution. I hope I made it clear that the post was in no way serious, but please message me if there's anything more I can do. Thank you for those who took the time to hear me out. If you like topics I cover on this video, please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and like button, all that good stuff. Comment what you think as we're going through it. It really does help the channel grow out and also help share information about this on pertinent topics. Yeah, I understand that people make mistakes. I understand that people do not understand the ramifications of when they post something, how far that can actually go. And, most corpsmen, I'm assuming this is probably her first tour. I understand you're in the first time ever in your life in a very mature and specific situation where you're handling people's lives in your hands. And to really grasp that, in the realm of 18 to 22, 23-year-olds is very difficult, right? Most people that are working in the medical field are probably doing so later and have less capacity or less access to hands-on patient care than corpsmen do, but corpsmen are trusted to that next level. And U.S. Naval Hospital Okinawa, Japan, and the Defense Health Agency have released this post here saying on Facebook, they said, Naval Hospital Okinawa is aware of a recent social media post made by a service member working in our facility. U.S. Naval Hospital Okinawa is committed to the health and safety of all of our patients, especially those most vulnerable, our children. We sincerely apologize for this inappropriate post. This type of behavior is unacceptable and in direct contradiction to our core values. The service member has been removed from patient care pending a full investigation, and our staff remains dedicated to providing world-class care for every patient. I also want to reach out and say to anyone in Okinawa, I understand as someone that's lived overseas at 2 different commands, one in Japan and also one in Europe. These communities are only so many thousands, right? And this post is like going to a small town and dropping a nuclear bomb on it. Now, I also want to say there are some things that should be noted as corpsmen that are out there. And likely this will greatly affect the trust of the patients on this island. There are no other American hospitals to go to as they are reliant on this one location, several outlying clinics on this island. But it looks like the trust has already been rocked and people are looking for answers, and this is what they've had to say. Ashley Taylor writes, will the results of the investigation be made public, or will this be a slap on the wrist and move to another unit? I personally have had 2 NICU babies, 3+ month stays, and if I saw one of their caregivers post what was posted, I would file criminal charges. This is terrifying to a parent, especially one who is in a foreign country and not near a family support system. Transparency in this is vital, or trust is going to be lost. Emily Johnson writes, where can we see the updates on the investigation? I want to make sure she isn't just, quotations, moved to a different unit so I can feel safe taking my family to Naval for care. Now, I will also let you know that this is something that has been noted to be a stressor on this command from what it looks like, as many of you guys are probably unaware of a job posting that was only a little bit ago. Because on only about a month or 2 ago, I believe it was, it says immediate/urgent need for a nurse for labor and delivery positions in Okinawa. And they said that at this time, women are unable to have babies in Okinawa hospitals and have to be sent back to states due to the shortage. It said they are offering relocation from anywhere for up to 120 days to fill these vacancies, including the following incentives to all the qualified candidates. They were going to offer relocation assistance of $35,000 each way, lodging allowance of $2,000 per month, sign-on bonus of $15,000, local travel pay of $2,000 per month, and a daily per diem of $103. And they were urgently asking people to share this information as well. This is a saddened moment, and this is not the only moment that we've ever dealt with this, and I want to reflect a little bit. Now, this news article shows hospital corpsmen mishandle a newborn baby, and they posted the videos to Snapchat. So if you can see here, there is a corpsman wearing scrubs holding up a baby, but also it looks like she is throwing the middle finger at the baby as well in this. And she, during the time of flipping off the baby, said, how I currently feel about these mini Satans. Also on top of that, you can see here from this video that they had made the baby actually do some kind of dance moves while they were doing their job taking care of this child. And I know this is probably outraging a bunch of you guys as well. Now, I'm going to also go on to let you guys know, because of that, there was a big knee-jerk reaction, which pretty much meant nobody could have cell phones in patient care areas. And this scares me because it's like the phone, I will be honest, I use this all the time as a tool in order to be able to look up up-to-date dosing on medications, to be able to look at different guidance and different things that are out there that medicine is constantly changing. And, you know, dumb decisions like this to just complain about your patients is the worst look, especially on a small island, like I said, where this stuff gets shared very easily and very rapidly. And when you're talking about kids, that is the sweet spot. And unfortunately, it looks like the stress maybe of something like this in this type of department where they don't have that many nurses and there are limited staff on an overseas base in a forward deployed area where for some reason, you know, it's very much known that Marines are going to have babies while they're in Japan. It's just what it is. But when that comes down to this, I have to say I am very deeply saddened by this. I've worked a night shift before. I've worked night shift for several years in my career, and I've had several difficult patients as well that I want to refrain and cringe that I could share so many great stories at the frustrations I've had. But I realize with a platform like this, other things like that, I'd love to share these crazy cool stories I've had or not so cool stories, but you have to understand, you have to separate both. And especially when everyone is so connected in a small town, small area like they do in Okinawa, that's what's going to happen over here. But let me know what you guys think should happen to this girl. What do you think should happen to her career? Should she stay in? Should she get out? Should she still be able to be a corpsman and be allowed to work in medicine? Let me know down in the comments below.